about these Jedi mind tricks. These are not the droids you're looking for. If I could just wave the magic hand and be like, this is not the mortgage you're looking for. You do not need a rate and term 0% interest on a 50-year mortgage, right? That's not what they get. That's not what they're actually looking for. What they're actually looking for is a 3.875 total debt consolidation, or a 3.375 streamline, or whatever it is, right? That's the loan that they are looking for. And I wish that, in the movies, like Luke Skywalker does this in, like, what's her name, Daisy, whatever. She does this like within like 20 minutes, 20 minutes of like learning that she even has the Force. Where did that come from? It doesn't really work like that. It takes years and years for a Jedi Master to, like, get that level of, proficiency, doesn't it? I don't know, but it certainly takes us that long. So it takes us some hours, 10 hours, 20 hours, 30 hours, 100 hours to figure out how to persuade and influence on a consistent basis. But it takes that practice to become that Jedi level. And there's a lot of different skills that we have. In previous videos, I've talked about the power of no, asking questions that are yes, 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 and then asking a question like, would it be crazy to ask you to start saving money sooner rather than later? Would it be absolutely ridiculous to ask you to get a mortgage statement in the next 24 hours for me? Those kinds of questions, when you get the no later on, that's one of those Jedi mind tricks. The Jedi mind trick could just be asking curious questions and then saying, oh, so it seems like you don't like paying the bank too much money. It's not really a question, it's just a statement, and then that's a jumping off point and see what they say from there. It's a good way to get people to open up. So persuasion and influence is what I'm talking about, though. And specifically, getting folks to do what we want them to do, but of their own accord, and because it's for their best interest. It's in their best interest. So versus like the Sith Lord, if you're familiar with the Star Wars Lord, like the Sith Lords are like the evil guys. Like they might manipulate people to do things that they don't want to actually do. Whereas, the Jedi, like, they typically will help people. They'll nudge them in the right direction anyway. That's really how I see our role here. Like, we want to nudge people in the right direction because it's the right thing to do. They don't really want that 0% 50-year mortgage because it's probably not really 0% and it's probably some kind of nasty balloon. So we protect folks from themselves. The Wookiee defense. So next up on our Star Wars tour, the Wookiee defense is a storytelling method that really just highlights the difference between Wookiees and Ewoks. And it doesn't have to be Wookiees and Ewoks, but it's a good illustration. So you tell a story to say, hey, you know what doesn't make sense? Chewbacca. Chewbacca is like a 7-foot, 4-inch tall Wookiee. If you know about Star Wars, he's giant, he's hairy, he looks like a big giant fuzzball. But he lives on Endor right now? That doesn't even make sense because Endor is full of like 2.5-foot tall Ewoks. Like, they're still hairy and they still like kind of look like, beastie things, but the difference is ridiculous, right? He's 7.5 feet tall, running around with a bunch of 2.5-foot tall Ewoks. It doesn't make sense. Now, if they're highlighted in Star Wars lore, then they probably know what this means. But the point is, you want to have a humorous story that highlights the difference between their mortgage and somebody else's mortgage. So at the end of that story, you say, what I'm trying to tell you, Mr. Customers, you've got the Wookiee mortgages at 5.25 and a whole country of Ewoks at 2.875 or 3.25 or whatever difference you want to say. You can also use, I've heard people use, it's like Shaquille O'Neal playing basketball with Smurfs. Your loan sticks out like a sore thumb. Or something along those lines. So you have something giant, and then something small, or some kind of like a big differential there, right? A lion playing tug of war with some domestic cats, or I can't think of anything else right now, but you kind of get the gist. So tell a story that is ridiculous, that makes somebody laugh, and so they clearly know it's fabricated, and then bring it back to reality. So you suspend disbelief, and then you bring them back in. That story may help you. Last but not least, I gotta speed this along because I'm jabbering today. Stories tell you I will. My Yoda impression. You're welcome. So, use the Force. And here's what I mean by that today. I want you to be aligned. So, the Force is kind of like this mythical thing in Star Wars lore. It permeates you and everything around you. You can feel the Force. Like, it's literally, it's everything, right? So, what I'm talking about when I say use the Force here, I'm saying just make sure that you are aligned internally, externally. Make sure your values are aligned. Like, what are you looking to do today? Are you looking to help people, or are you just looking to make money? Let's help folks, and we'll make money along the way.